Question 1. A project team is practicing Agile and has just completed its sprint review. What is the primary purpose of the next event, the Sprint Retrospective? A. To inspect the increment and adapt the product backlog if needed. B. To discuss what went well, what could be improved, and create actionable plans for the next sprint. C. To finalize the work to be performed in the upcoming sprint. D. To synchronize activities and plan for the next 24 hours. Answer: B. To discuss what went well, what could be improved, and create actionable plans for the next sprint. The Sprint Retrospective is a key Agile event held at the end of each sprint to inspect the sprint itself and identify improvements. Its primary purpose is for the team to reflect on their processes, tools, and interactions, discussing what went well and what challenges they faced. Based on this reflection, they collaboratively identify and implement actionable improvements for the next sprint, embodying the Agile principle of continuous improvement. This dedicated time ensures the team constantly learns and adapts its way of working, making it more effective over time. Always remember, the retrospective is about improving how the team works, not what they build. Question 2. In an Agile project, what is the role of the product owner? A. To facilitate team meetings, remove impediments, and coach the team on Agile practices. B. To develop and deliver the product increment at the end of each sprint. C. To manage the project budget, schedule, and resources. D. To maximize the value of the product resulting from the work of the development team. Answer: D. To maximize the value of the product resulting from the work of the development team. The product owner is a crucial role in Agile, particularly Scrum, serving as the sole person responsible for managing the product backlog. This involves clearly articulating product backlog items, ordering them to best achieve goals and missions, and ensuring the backlog is visible, transparent, and understood. Their ultimate goal is to maximize the value delivered by the development team, acting as the voice of the customer and business to guide product development. Think of the product owner as the visionary who ensures the team builds the right product that delivers the most business value. Question 3. What is a key characteristic of a self-organizing team in an Agile environment? A. Team members select their own project manager. B. Team members decide how to best accomplish the work they have committed to. C. Team members are individually accountable for all project risks. D. Team members create the project charter and define the initial scope. Answer: B. Team members decide how to best accomplish the work they have committed to. A key characteristic of self-organizing teams in Agile is that they have the autonomy and responsibility to determine the best way to perform their work. While the product owner defines what needs to be built, the product backlog items, the team collaboratively decides how to build it and who does what within the sprint. This fosters a sense of ownership, increases motivation, and often leads to more innovative solutions. Empowering the team to manage their own work rather than being directed by a traditional manager is central to the Agile mindset. Question 4. Which of the following best describes the concept of a minimum viable product, MVP, in Agile? A. A product with just enough features to satisfy the entire market. B. A product delivered at the end of a project that meets all requirements. C. A version of a new product which allows a team to collect the maximum amount of validated learning about customers with the least effort. D. A prototype developed solely for internal testing and review. Answer: C. A version of a new product which allows a team to collect the maximum amount of validated learning about customers with the least effort. A minimum viable product, MVP, is a strategy for quickly releasing a version of a new product with just enough features to satisfy early customers and validate learning about the product and its market. The goal is not to deliver a complete product, but rather to gain insights and feedback with minimal investment to inform future development. For example, an MVP for a new photo sharing app might only allow users to upload and view photos, without editing or social features initially. This approach helps reduce risk and ensures the team builds something customers actually want. Question 5. During which Scrum event does the development team forecast the functionality that will be developed during the sprint and plan the work necessary to deliver it? A. Daily Scrum. B. Sprint Review. C. Sprint Planning. D. Sprint Retrospective. Answer: C. Sprint Planning. Sprint planning is the first event of a sprint, where the entire Scrum team collaborates to define the sprint goal and select product backlog items to work on during the upcoming sprint. The development team forecasts what they can deliver and then plans how they will build the selected items, breaking them down into smaller, actionable tasks for the sprint backlog. This collaborative effort ensures the team has a clear objective and a detailed plan before beginning development. Remember, sprint planning sets the stage for the entire sprint. Question 6. What is the primary purpose of the Daily Scrum? A. To discuss and resolve impediments with stakeholders. B. To inspect progress toward the sprint goal and adapt the sprint backlog as necessary. C. To present completed work to stakeholders and gather feedback. D. To estimate the remaining effort for all backlog items. Answer: B. To inspect progress toward the sprint goal and adapt the sprint backlog as necessary. The Daily Scrum, often called the Daily Stand-Up, is a 15-minute time-boxed event for the development team to synchronize activities and plan for the next 24 hours. Each team member quickly shares what they did yesterday that helped meet the sprint goal, what they will do today to help meet the sprint goal, and any impediments preventing them from meeting the sprint goal. This daily inspection helps the team identify deviations from the sprint goal and make timely adjustments to their sprint backlog, fostering coordination and quick problem identification. Question 7. A project manager is transitioning from a traditional waterfall environment to an agile one. Which of the following mindset shifts is most crucial for successful adoption? A. Shifting from strict adherence to the initial plan to embracing change and iterative delivery. B. Shifting from detailed documentation to minimal, just-in-time documentation. C. Shifting from individual accountability to team accountability for all deliverables. D. Shifting from centralized decision-making to distributed decision-making. Answer: A. Shifting from strict adherence to the initial plan to embracing change and iterative delivery. One of the most fundamental shifts in Agile is moving away from the predictability and rigidity of traditional planning towards an adaptive approach. Instead of creating a complete, fixed plan up front, Agile embraces the idea that requirements and priorities may evolve, requiring frequent inspection and adaptation. This means delivering value in small, iterative increments and welcoming changes even late in development, which is a core principle of the Agile Manifesto. This flexibility allows teams to respond effectively to new information and deliver the most valuable product. Question 8. In Agile, what does velocity primarily measure? A. The speed at which individual team members complete their tasks. B. The amount of work a development team can complete in a single sprint. C. The time it takes to deliver a complete product to the customer. D. The number of defects found per sprint. Answer: B. The amount of work a development team can complete in a single sprint. Velocity in Agile is a measure of the amount of work, typically expressed in story points or ideal days, a development team completes per sprint. It's used as a planning metric to help the team forecast how much work they can realistically commit to in future sprints, based on their past performance. For example, if a team consistently completes 30 story points per sprint, their velocity is 30. Velocity is a team metric, not an individual one, and helps the team gauge their capacity and improve predictability. Question 9. What is the primary purpose of a burndown chart in an Agile project? A. To track the number of defects remaining in the product backlog. B. To show the amount of work remaining versus time. C. To visualize the dependencies between different project tasks. D. To display the cumulative flow of features delivered over time. Answer: B. To show the amount of work remaining versus time. A burndown chart is a graphical representation of work left to do versus time. In an Agile context, a sprint burndown chart typically shows the remaining work in a sprint, example in hours or story points, decreasing over the course of the sprint. It helps the team and stakeholders see the progress made and identify if the team is on track to complete all committed work by the end of the sprint. It's a quick visual indicator of sprint progress and helps the team self-organize to stay on track. Question 10. When should a new project team establish its definition of done, DoD, in an Agile project? A. At the beginning of the project, during sprint planning. B. After the first few sprints, once they understand their velocity. C. Before the first sprint begins, typically during the initial project kickoff or envisioning phase. D. At the end of each sprint during the sprint review. Answer: C. Before the first sprint begins, typically during the initial project kickoff or envisioning phase. The definition of done, DoD, is a shared understanding within the Scrum team about what done means for a product backlog item, ensuring a potentially shippable increment is created. It defines the quality standards and criteria that must be met for a piece of work to be considered complete. This common understanding is crucial for transparency and quality, and it should be established collaboratively by the Scrum team before the first sprint begins to provide clarity on expectations from the outset. Without a clear DoD, done means different things to different people, leading to confusion and rework. Question 11. Which of the following is a core value from the Agile Manifesto? A. Processes and tools over individuals and interactions. B. Comprehensive documentation over working software. C. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. D. Following a plan over responding to change. Answer: C. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. The Agile Manifesto outlines 4 core values that prioritize different aspects of project work compared to traditional methods. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation emphasizes the importance of ongoing communication and partnership with the customer to ensure the product meets their evolving needs, rather than rigidly adhering to a detailed contract defined upfront. This value promotes flexibility and responsiveness, ensuring that the team continually builds the most valuable product. It highlights that continuous engagement with the customer is more valuable than just focusing on legal agreements. Question 12. In a Kanban system, what is the primary purpose of setting work in progress, WIP, limits? A. To restrict the number of team members working on a task. B. To control the amount of work started but not yet finished. C. To define the maximum duration for any single task. D. To limit the total number of features in the product backlog. Answer: B. To control the amount of work started but not yet finished. In a Kanban system, work in progress, WIP, limits are crucial for managing flow and preventing bottlenecks. They restrict the number of items that can be in a particular column or stage of the workflow at any given time, forcing the team to focus on completing existing work before starting new tasks. By limiting WIP, teams can identify bottlenecks, improve efficiency, and reduce multitasking, ultimately leading to faster delivery of value. Think of it as controlling congestion on a highway by limiting how many cars can enter at once. Question 13. A Scrum Master notices that the development team is consistently struggling to complete their committed work by the end of the sprint. What should the Scrum Master do first? A. report the issue to the product owner to adjust the sprint goal. B. Facilitate a discussion with the team to identify the root causes of the impediments. C. Reassign tasks among team members to balance the workload. D. Extend the sprint duration to allow more time for completion. Answer: B. Facilitate a discussion with the team to identify the root causes of the impediments. When a Scrum team consistently misses its commitments, the Scrum Master's role as a servant leader and facilitator is to help the team improve its processes. The first step is to facilitate a discussion with the team to understand why they are struggling, which might involve identifying root causes like unclear requirements, technical debt, scope creep, or external impediments. Addressing the root cause collaboratively allows the team to learn and adapt, rather than just treating the symptoms, reinforcing the principle of continuous improvement. Question 14. Which Agile principle is best demonstrated by releasing working software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with a preference to the shorter timescale? A. Sustainable pace. B. Simplicity. C. Early and continuous delivery of valuable software. D. Self-organizing teams. Answer: C. Early and continuous delivery of valuable software. The Agile principle, deliver working software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with a preference to the shorter timescale, directly emphasizes the importance of early and continuous delivery of valuable increments. This approach allows stakeholders to provide frequent feedback, reduces the risk of building the wrong product, and ensures that value is realized sooner. Instead of a single large delivery at the end of a long project, Agile promotes delivering small, usable pieces of functionality regularly. This frequent delivery is a hallmark of Agile's focus on value. Question 15. In an Agile context, what is a spike? A. A brief, time-boxed investigation or research activity to reduce uncertainty. B. A critical defect found in the product increment. C. A sudden increase in the scope of a user story. D. A major impediment blocking the team's progress. Answer: A. A brief, time-boxed investigation or research activity to reduce uncertainty. A spike in Agile, particularly in extreme programming, XP, and Scrum, is a short, time-boxed research or exploration task undertaken by the team to gain knowledge or reduce uncertainty before committing to full development work. For example, a team might conduct a technical spike to explore a new technology or a functional spike to clarify complex user requirements. Spikes help de-risk future development by answering critical questions and informing better estimates and implementation approaches. It's a strategic way to learn quickly and effectively. Question 16. What is the main purpose of the product backlog in Scrum? A. To list all the tasks that need to be completed in the current sprint. B. To serve as an ordered list of everything that might be needed in the product. C. To document the project's budget and resource allocation. D. To record the team's progress and identify completed work. Answer: B. To serve as an ordered list of everything that might be needed in the product. The product backlog is a dynamic, ordered list of all known work that needs to be done to develop or evolve a product, representing the single source of requirements for any changes to be made to the product. It contains features, functions, requirements, enhancements, and fixes, ordered by the product owner based on value, risk, priority, and necessity. It is never complete and evolves as the product and the environment it operates in evolves. Think of it as the ultimate to-do list for the product, prioritized for maximum value. Question 17. Which of the following is a characteristic of a servant leader in an Agile environment? A. Dictates tasks and closely monitors individual performance. B. Focuses on removing impediments and supporting the team's growth. C. Manages the project budget and external stakeholder communication. D. Holds the primary responsibility for the product's success and vision. Answer: B. Focuses on removing impediments and supporting the team's growth. A servant leader, often exemplified by the Scrum Master in Agile, prioritizes the needs of the team members and fosters their growth and well-being. This leadership style involves removing obstacles, impediments, coaching the team on Agile practices, facilitating collaboration, and creating an environment where the team can thrive and self-organize. Instead of commanding and controlling, a servant leader serves the team to enable them to achieve their goals. This support fosters a productive and empowered team. Question 18. What is the primary focus of lean principles in an Agile context? A. Maximizing individual team member utilization. B. Eliminating waste and maximizing value. C. Creating detailed documentation for all processes. D. Ensuring strict adherence to predefined plans. Answer: B. Eliminating waste and maximizing value. Lean principles, originating from manufacturing, are highly influential in Agile methodologies and focus on delivering maximum customer value with minimal waste. Waste, in this context, refers to anything that doesn't add value to the customer, such as unnecessary features, excessive documentation, waiting, or rework. By identifying and eliminating waste, teams can streamline their processes, improve efficiency, and deliver value more quickly and effectively. Think of lean as continuously optimizing your process to get more done with less effort. Question 19. A stakeholder requests a new feature late in a traditional project. How would an Agile approach typically handle this compared to a waterfall approach? A. Agile would likely reject the change due to impact on the baseline, similar to waterfall. B. Agile would embrace the change, incorporate it into the backlog, and prioritize it for a future sprint, adapting the plan as needed. C. Agile would require a formal change request and extensive approval process, similar to waterfall. D. Agile would pause the current work to implement the new feature immediately, regardless of impact. Answer: B. Agile would embrace the change, incorporate it into the backlog, and prioritize it for a future sprint, adapting the plan as needed. One of the core tenets of Agile is responding to change over following a plan. Unlike traditional waterfall, which typically discourages late-stage changes due to baseline impacts, Agile is designed to accommodate evolving requirements. A new feature request would be added to the product backlog, discussed with the product owner, and prioritized against other items based on its value and urgency. This allows the team to adapt its plan and deliver the most valuable features throughout the project lifecycle. Question 20. When managing risk in an Agile project, what is a common strategy? A. Deferring all risk identification to the project's closing phase. B. Identifying and addressing high-priority risks early and continuously throughout the project. C. Creating a comprehensive, static risk register at the beginning of the project. D. Transferring all project risks to external third parties. Answer: B. Identifying and addressing high-priority risks early and continuously throughout the project. In Agile, risk management is an ongoing, iterative process integrated into regular activities like sprint planning and retrospectives. Instead of creating a single, static risk register, teams continuously identify, assess, and prioritize risks. High-priority risks are addressed proactively in early sprints or mitigated through specific actions like spikes or technical debt reduction. This continuous attention to risk, often focusing on the most impactful ones first, allows for flexibility and early adaptation, significantly reducing potential negative impacts. Question 21. What is the primary benefit of continuous integration, CI, in an Agile software development project? A. It ensures that all project documentation is kept up to date. B. It prevents team members from working on the same code files. C. It enables early detection of integration errors and reduces complexity for releases. D. It automatically deploys the software to production after every code change. Answer: C. It enables early detection of integration errors and reduces complexity for releases. Continuous integration, CI, is a development practice where developers frequently merge their code changes into a central repository, often multiple times a day. Each merge is then verified by an automated build and test process. The primary benefit is the early detection of integration issues and conflicts, making them easier and quicker to fix. This drastically reduces the integration hell often experienced in traditional projects and ensures the codebase remains healthy and releasable at all times. Question 22. In Agile, who is primarily responsible for ensuring that the team adheres to its agreed-upon processes and practices, and for facilitating continuous improvement? A. The product owner. B. The development team. C. The project manager, traditional role. D. The Scrum Master. Answer: D. The Scrum Master. The Scrum Master serves the Scrum team in several ways, and a key responsibility is to ensure the team understands and enacts Scrum practices and principles. They act as a facilitator, coach, and impediment remover, guiding the team in their continuous improvement journey. While the development team is self-organizing and accountable for their work, the Scrum Master provides the framework and support for them to succeed within the Agile methodology. Think of the Scrum Master as the guardian of the Agile process. Question 23. Which of the following best describes the cone of uncertainty in project management? A. The decreasing amount of risk as a project progresses. B. The increasing accuracy of estimates as a project progresses. C. The range of possible project outcomes that narrows over time. D. The level of stakeholder uncertainty regarding project requirements. Answer: B. The increasing accuracy of estimates as a project progresses. The cone of uncertainty illustrates that at the beginning of a project, the amount of known information is low, leading to highly uncertain and broad estimates. As the project progresses and more is learned, example through iterative development, feedback, and prototyping, the uncertainty decreases, and the estimates become significantly more accurate and precise. This concept highlights why detailed, fixed upfront planning is challenging and often inaccurate for complex projects, and why Agile favors adaptive planning. It's like focusing a camera lens as you get closer to the subject. Question 24. A stakeholder is concerned that an Agile project might not meet all initial requirements due to its iterative nature. How would an Agile team typically address this concern? A. Reassure the stakeholder that all requirements will be met by the end of the project, regardless of changes. B. Explain that requirements are prioritized based on value and risk, and the most important ones are delivered first, with flexibility for others to evolve. C. Propose a detailed, fixed-scope contract to guarantee all initial requirements are fulfilled. D. Stop the Agile approach and switch to a waterfall model for increased control. Answer: B. Explain that requirements are prioritized based on value and risk, and the most important ones are delivered first, with flexibility for others to evolve. In Agile, the focus is on delivering the highest business value incrementally and iteratively. The product owner continually prioritizes the product backlog based on feedback and evolving needs, ensuring that the most valuable and critical requirements are addressed early. The team can explain that while the initial list of requirements might change, the iterative approach ensures that the most important and current requirements are consistently targeted, allowing for adaptation to deliver a truly valuable product rather than just a product that matched an old list. Question 25. What is the primary benefit of holding a sprint review at the end of each sprint? A. To allow the development team to demonstrate their individual contributions. B. To gather feedback from stakeholders on the completed increment and adapt the product backlog. C. To finalize the budget and schedule for the upcoming sprints. D. To conduct a formal performance review of the Scrum team members. Answer: B. To gather feedback from stakeholders on the completed increment and adapt the product backlog. The sprint review is a crucial event where the Scrum team and stakeholders collaborate to inspect the increment that was built during the sprint and adapt the product backlog if needed. The development team demonstrates the work they have done, and stakeholders provide feedback, ask questions, and discuss potential future adaptations to the product. This continuous feedback loop ensures that the product remains aligned with customer needs and market demands, embodying the Agile principle of customer collaboration and iterative development.